Meta has finally unveiled their newest headset, the all-new Meta Quest 3S, scheduled to come out this October. The Quest 2 may had a good run, but the Meta Quest 3S is here to take its place. Now it's time to talk about what the Meta Quest 3S is all about, because it seems like this headset's going to be a unique mixture between the Quest 2 and the Quest 3. So to start it off, this headset is going to cost $300. So they're aiming for a lower budget headset this time. And yeah, with the name Meta Quest 3S, it sounds like it'd be better than the Quest 3, but that's not right. What they probably should have named it was the Meta Quest 3 Lite. I'm not sure why they named it that, but whatever. So enough about the name, it's what's inside this thing that really matters. But take these specs with a grain of salt, since some of these aren't actually really confirmed, but the sources I'm getting these from are pretty reliable, considering they get a lot of things from the Quest 3 correct. So this headset is running with the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip, which is the same exact one that the Quest 3 has. So in every game, the textures, the shadows, and all that's gonna look much better, at least compared to the Quest 2. And the resolution of this headset is 1832 by 1920 per eye, which is the exact same as the Quest 2. And this one actually surprised me. This headset actually has the Fresnel lenses that are found in the Quest 2, and not the pancake lenses that are in the Quest Pro or Quest 3. And the refresh rate is at 120 Hz. And since this headset is using the Fresnel lenses, it's gonna be built more like a Quest 2 than a Quest 3. So it's not gonna be as thin as the Quest 3. Even though it's not confirmed how much this headset's gonna weigh, I assume it's gonna be about the same as a Quest 2 and 3. And here's something that I'm kind of upset about. This headset does not have a manual IPD adjustment. And it's like the Quest 2 where it has those 3 fixed positions that you can choose from. I don't know why it has to be like this where we can only choose 3 positions and not just have a manual IPD adjustment. I feel like that's one thing that this headset just missed, which that's kind of a bummer, but there is something that I wasn't expecting that this headset actually does. This headset will actually have AR capability similar to the Quest 3. So yeah, this headset does have depth sensors, but as you can clearly see, it's not in the middle. It's actually on the farther ends of the headset. I don't know if it being on the sides like that is better or worse for AR, but we'll see. I guess Meta just wants AR to be a built-in feature in every single headset from now on, which I find that to be a pretty interesting decision, but I'll get into that later. But there is one new thing on this headset that the other ones don't. You see this new button that's right next to the volume button. This button is actually used to toggle through pass-through into VR. I just really like how this is a pressable button now, because on the Quest 3 you actually have to tap the side of the headset, and sometimes that can be finicky. There's been a few times where I've had to tap it again just for it to switch, and just having a clickable button should just make it so much easier now. Now let's talk about the controllers that come with this headset, and just like the Quest Pro and Quest 3, these ones are ringless. I could be wrong, but they almost look the exact same as a Quest 3's controllers, which I think it is pretty nice that we can finally say goodbye to that big giant ring that's been here for so long. So it's almost as if that the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 came together to make the Quest 3S, which I see a lot of good stuff in this, and I also see a lot of not so good stuff in this. So I'm gonna be honest right now, my reaction to this headset has actually been pretty mixed. And I have a few reasons for that. One of my gripes about this headset is the resolution. I just find it weird how they didn't decide to upgrade it at all and just kept it the same as the Quest 2. So if you're upgrading from a Quest 2 to this, there's really not going to be that much change on what you see. Sure, the textures and the shadows will look better, but it just won't look as crisp as it does on the Quest 3. And I don't mind too much that they didn't go with pancake lenses, because I know those are more expensive than the Fresnel lenses, but I feel like they could have either bumped it somewhat. Or another thing they possibly could have done is use the Quest Pro's lenses, because it is almost the same as the Quest 2, but it would look just a little better since it does have the pancake lenses, and it would also make the headset a little smaller as well. Also, something that I'm still mixed about is I don't really think that they had to put AR into this headset. There's a decent amount of people who just don't really care about AR and just want the VR experience, because I feel like we could have just dealt without that and that would have made the price go down. And also, speaking about the price, I will say $300 for this really doesn't seem that bad. I mean, the Quest 2 was this when it first launched and look how it did. But the one thing that concerns me is this really that much of an upgrade to a Quest 2? Because if I was your average Quest 2 owner, I'd look at this and think it's really not that much of an upgrade. All it really adds is just a little bit better graphics and AR, which I'm not that excited about. I guess what I'm trying to say is this headset just seems like it's more of a Quest 2 Pro than a Quest 3 Lite, if that makes any sense. But I guess we won't really know until we get our hands on it. And also, just to be clear, if you have a Quest Pro or a Quest 3 laying around, and if you're thinking of getting this, I highly suggest not doing that. Most of you probably didn't need to hear that, but just in case anyone was thinking about it. And even if you have a Quest 2 right now and you're thinking of upgrading to this, I really don't know. Because maybe if the Quest 3S was more like $250 or $200, then I'd say yeah. But $300 for a small upgrade like this, I find it hard to see. Because I'll say this headset seems really great for people who want to try VR for the first time and have no other VR headsets laying around, unless you have something really old. Maybe if you have like an HTC Vive laying around, then it'd probably be pretty good to get this upgrade. But there is one thing that could probably bump up this headset when it's confirmed, because the Quest 3 has upper body tracking, where it tries to guess where your arms and elbows are in your hands. And it's recently come to my attention that it actually will have upper body tracking, so that's pretty cool. So if you have a Quest 2 and if you're really struggling to think if this headset's really worth it, but you won't need to worry too much about that, because I'm planning to pre-order this headset right when I'm able to, and as quick as I can, I'll try to review and talk about my actual feelings about this headset. So if you really want to see that, and if you really trust me that I'm going to give an accurate overview about this headset, I would suggest subscribing to the channel, because this headset will be here before you know it. So now I'm just going to give my last thoughts and feelings about this headset. I'm just very conflicted about this headset. The last time I've been this conflicted about a headset is when the Quest Pro was coming out, because this headset in no way, shape, or form is going to try to take down the Quest 3. It's trying to be just a cheaper option for people who are just a little less fortunate, which yeah, I do understand that, but couldn't have been inspired just a little more to the Quest 3 than the Quest 2? Because what it seems like it's going to be is that this headset's going to be really great for people who want to get into VR for the first time, but if you have almost anything else, it doesn't really seem that much of an upgrade. And for you guys who have Quest 3s and Quest Pros, it just isn't an upgrade and you should not buy this, because it just doesn't seem that this headset's going to be so loved and well known as the Quest 2. And yeah, it's going to try to take its throne no matter what, but something's telling me that the Quest 3 is going to get a lot more love than this thing, which I guess this headset isn't trying to do that. Nonetheless, I really hope this headset's going to be really good and that it has some type of demographic and some people will actually think this is good. But I'll be the judge of that when I finally get my hands on this thing. So I guess we're just going to have to wait until then. So that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys later.